Alright, first video, or actually second video with the new little sticky mount on my mirror, so we're more straightforward here. Anyhow, we're going to be using one of the soaps that I had in my previous mail call video, and this is a late night shave, if you could see over there by the mirror. So we're going to be kind of relaxing here, but I figured we would go with one of our new soaps to the den, and that's Cella Crema de Barba, and this one is a cream. I don't know if they're all cream or if they do have some soaps, but this one is a cream. And if we open up the cute little tub here, it smells great. I mean, pretty much it's just like your typical almond scent, you know, that kind of like cherry almond type smell. Smells good. It's pleasant. You know what I mean? Nothing complex. It's just kind of one-sided. Yeah, cherry almond, sweet. Smells good. Anyhow, so it kind of has that kind of like buttery texture. It is a cream, so it is very pliable and whatnot. I put a big slug of it down in the bottom of my Lancaster bowl. Never used Cella before, so whether it's the cream or the soap, or I don't even know if a soap exists or if they're all creams. I don't do any research, so anyhow, that's what we're going to be using today. Never used it before. We're going to be using my The Crazy Badger brush in distilled water here. I'll show you his coin right there. Vicious looking little fella. Anyhow, then we got kind of like this kind of crimson and black with the flakes in it. It's a nice little brush. Super affordable. I don't see him doing any brushes anymore, and he really hasn't been for a long time. Couple months back he showed that he was in the shop, but then right back to being, you know, ghost again. It's kind of a shame. He really made some nice handles that were affordable, custom handles that were affordable. I believe this was like 65 bucks. And it looks, as always, it looks better in person than on pictures, but real nice little brush. It's a no hype 3-band badger. There's no cool nickname that drives marketing or anything like that. It's just 3-band badger. That's all it was listed as. Anyhow, let's get to we'll get to lathering. I'll wring out all the water and kind of start from scratch with just a damp brush, and we'll see what we can get out of this. Wanted to take it kind of light tonight, so since we're doing kind of like a mellow shave, I'm just gonna do a little 12-ouncer of Golden Pilsner from Fremont out of Seattle. So this is one of the local guys for me. Their stuff is very readily available to me, and it's fantastic. It's one of Washington's best representatives, Fremont. Yep. And there's a little 4.5 ABV. Just something light, sessionable. It is kind of a, you know, it's crisp and refreshing, definitely sessionable. If you know what that means, it means you could kind of just throw them back, you know. But I do think it has like a nice kind of like biscuity character to it, but at the same time, like I said, it's crisp. I'm supposed to drink it cold, that sort of thing. If you know anything about the difference between lagers and ales, you're supposed to be drinking lagers cold, ales somewhat a bit warmer, because the reason why the big beer companies market ice cold, as cold as the Rockies, all that bullshit, is because that ice cold, it shocks your tongue, masks your taste buds, and have you ever had a warm, like Bud Light, and how fucking disgusting a warm Bud Light is? That that's not the same like feature you get with a good craft brew. I often drink my beers warm. Like, I'll pull them out of the fridge, but I just kind of like let them sit for a while. It's because they're supposed to be drank at a slightly colder than room temperature. You know what I mean? They're not lukewarm. They're not entirely warm, but they're definitely not ice cold. And they really, you get more flavors that way. There's nothing being hid by the shock of how cold it is. But lagers are a little bit different. They're more delicate. They don't have, their flavors aren't as obvious. And so you do drink them colder, but you don't drink any beer ice cold if you want to taste it. You know, if you want to know what it really has to offer, you don't drink it ice cold. That's just, I don't care what it is, you don't drink it ice cold. Alright, so it looks like we got a shit ton. We'll get back to shaving. One day this is just going to devolve into a damn beer channel, and the shaving's just going to go right out the damn window. Alright, let's wet the face here. That whipped up rather easily. I only had one water addition. And you know, my water additions aren't metered with a fucking syringe like I've seen some people do. They're just kind of eyeballing it. You ever seen like a real chef pull out like a fucking thing of measuring sticks, or does he just fucking grab a pinch or a handful and chuck it in there? You don't need to bust out a damn syringe to add water. And this Badger has a little bit of scrub. I think since I have some of these kind of newer offerings as far as kind of like Badger knots. This is one of my older brushes in the den. And it definitely has a little bit more scrub. Not uncomfortable or anything. It's actually a quite nice scrub. And I don't mind it one bit. I think it feels pretty good. Not that I need to exfoliate, because like CDB says, it's like you could get that done in the shower when you're washing yourself. Or after you shower if you have like a shit ton of skin products, you know. But I suppose if you didn't do any skincare whatsoever, getting a nice little scrub with your shave brush would be exfoliating to a degree. And also, like CDB says, I believe, when you run that razor across your face, that's going to be some exfoliation one way or another, you know what I mean? Alright. And again, the Vector. At first I was going to go without a shave, because I am kind of tired. But I couldn't let a day go. I don't want to sit on this thing any longer than I have to. Even though the chief isn't, he told me not to rush. But I'm just not gonna, I'm not gonna hold on to this thing too long. I'm just gonna take a week and try to get it right back to him. Be as respectful as I can about it, you know what I mean? This was a huge honor for him to just let me borrow such an expensive item when, quite honestly, we hardly know each other. I subscribed to his channel, and within like a week or two, he's sending me a fucking $200 razor. And it just really doesn't get much more generous than that. It might be a little bit reckless on his part. But I would never do anything to disrespect a gesture like this. I'm being super careful with this thing. Mount Rushmore is kind of like just a little rolling hill now. Almost gone. I don't know why. I should have showed you before I started the video, but I have like this like band of like acne on my neck that's going on right now. I use beard oil every single day, so you can imagine that area gets maybe, you know, maybe it's too oily or gets more oil than it needs. Essentially, beard oil is just like good oleo or shit like that. It's basically just a bunch of skin-loving oils that, because you can't have a healthy beard without healthy skin, and you'll see people will tell you when you're putting beard oil in to get all the way down to skin level with your fingertips and massage it into your skin. And the reason is because a good beard starts with good skincare. You know what I mean? But sometimes there is a con to that, and not all of your skin needs all of that, those oils and whatnot. And then you get a little bit of acne. So it's kind of like a give-take type situation. I want my beard to be somewhat healthy. As healthy as I can make it, considering I have like a beer a day or beer or two, and I don't really drink as much water as I should, but I do what I can to help my beard out, you know what I mean? But then I get some acne, and then sometimes when I'm shaving, I hit the acne, you know. It is what it is. Life goes on. Alright. Get that off my nose. And we'll lather up our past too. So, the shaver, I'm getting very much the same experience. I don't think I've changed up anything, because I think, like I said in the first video, the Blackland Vector is just, I feel like it's very intuitive to just pick up and go. Even if it's your first time, it's like, it's very intuitive. You just put it up to your skin, slight angle, the same shit, you know, we've all heard before as beginners. Light pressure, slight angle off the skin. Just kind of like slow but deliberate motions. Feels like it maybe a hair dryer on this pass. I honestly don't think it's going to be a problem, but if I wanted to, I could probably introduce a little water into the bowl here. Get a little bit of water in the bowl and kind of fluff it up a little bit with a little bit more moisture. We got time. This is going to be a shorter video than before, so, or than previous videos have been. There we go. That feels better. And you can see the flow through on this is pretty nice. It just gives up that lather. It's not hogging it. It's not eating it. It's there. It's readily available. It's not one of those super duper dense badgers, so I don't find it to hog the lather whatsoever. Alright, that's good enough. I could go on for ages trying to get that perfect, but that's pretty good. Nice and slick. I do think Cella's plenty slick. It's funny, off the tub, I thought Cella had about like a 5 or a 6 scent strength. Once lathered and on the face, and now I'm past 2, it's like almost undetectable. I mean, it's probably there. It's probably like a 2. And I think because of the simplicity of the scent, it's, you go nose blind as well. So I'm definitely not a huge fan of that. But then again, you know, this is kind of a classic soap. So we'll just call it how it is and cut it a little bit of slack. It's actually got like some decent density. Probably about like a medium density. It's definitely not thin and airy. But it's not like this dense like weight that you feel on your face like with some of the artisan stuff. That just feels pretty damn good on the face. Just the slightest, you know, like entry level blade feel above, just slightly above medium aggression, and I think we just rocked out another very smooth shave. Right here, as you can see, not a shit ton of residual slickness after about, you know, a minute's time. My finger is very much so, you know, sticking to the dry skin. Down here, definitely a bit, there's still a bit left, but it doesn't stick around. You know, it's not this, it's definitely a more basic soap formula. I'll say that. You know, it's not like these artisan soaps where you really got to kind of try to wash that layer of slickness off your face. That kind of either fatty layer or real like butter heavy layer from all the high quality ingredients. This is definitely a lot more simplistic, and it washes right off and it kind of dries down back into a, you know, like dry skin state rather quickly. And I think we did pretty good. Another comfortable shave, even though I'm tired and probably a little bit sloppy. I think we still rocked out a good shave. Cella definitely served its purpose. I could see why this thing has kind of stood the test of time. So, it won't be going nowhere. It's in the den to stay, and we can throw in a classic shave every now and then. I also picked up tobacco, so sometime soon we will be using tobacco. Maybe I'll use it on Tuesday, and for the very first time, get in on a Tobacco Tuesday. How's that sound? Look at all that suds, man. And the weird thing about the beard is it doesn't like to give back the suds. It's very good at absorbing the suds or giving refuge to the suds, but it's not very good at giving it back when you're trying to get it out. Alright, I think that's that. So, we'll get into a little post shave here after I take a swig. We're going to go with some Oleo New City. So, this is raspberry and leather, and you can also see the ingredients there. And if you can tell, that's not an old label. It kind of has like this very faint kind of like design like underlying that. It looks better in person than it does on camera, but just a nice little touch. It's a fairly old bottle of Aftershave. So this Aftershave New City is based off Tom Ford's Tuscan leather, which has leather and raspberry as its main scent notes. I've smelt Tuscan leather. I think this resembles it, but I think it's a bit simplistic, like a bit more simplistic, you know, not quite as complex as Tom Ford's, and rightfully so. I mean, you can't have the same price. You can't have a much lower price and have the same high quality. But I will say this is very pleasant. It's kind of like, it's not like a tart fresh raspberry. It's kind of like a mellow sweet raspberry, and then like it's not like a real old leather chair or, you know, like an old pair of boots type leather. The leather is also very smooth, and the whole experience is just pleasant. It's like, it's a nice mellow sweet raspberry, mellow leather, just kind of like a suede, if you could make the distinction between like kind of like a cowboy leather, like an old leather armchair type leather. That's one type of leather, a bit more bold, and then there's kind of like suede, which is like a bit more mellow, you know, and that's what it's more like. So the whole thing is kind of mellow, it's pleasant, it's masculine, and really good for any occasion. Probably even unisex, really. Honestly. So that's Oleo's New City Aftershave. We also used Cella for the first time. Did fantastic. I understand why it's a classic. It's a good little cream. Good little cream. I don't use a lot of creams either, so that's good. That's another good addition to the den. The Blackland Vector. I think I'm in love. I think I'm in love. I want to do bad things to this razor. Naughty things. Alright, before this devolves yet again, the Crazy Badger brush. Good affordable option. I wish Halbert was still making these. Maybe he will make a return one day. Just a good little workhorse brush. I've had it for a long time. This is one of my first brushes that I got. Affordable, and has just, you know, stood by me, did the job. And another staple in my den is my Lancaster bowl. I love that thing. Alright guys, I think we did a nice recap. We had ourselves a nice shave. Thanks, Chief, yet again. Cheers, buddy. Thank you for letting me borrow this thing. I'm going to get it back to you in a timely manner, I swear. Alright, cheers guys, and have a good rest of your Saturday and a good Sunday. I'm out.